Thank you for joining me in my SAP S/4HANA training. We will be reviewing tax calculation procedure, define procedures, define condition types, access sequence, and assign tax country to calculation procedure, and check and change settings for tax processing. So let's start with tax calculation procedure. You may use T code OBYZ and click on Define Procedures. Alternatively, you can go to SPRO or /N SIMG, and in here we go to Financial Accounting and then to Financial Accounting Global Settings node, and then to Tax on Sales Purchases node, and in basic settings. Here we click on Tax Calculation Procedure, check Calculation Procedure, and then double click Define Procedures. Let's go to Great Britain's tax procedure, click Position, and then search for Tax GB, hit Enter. This is a standard uh, procedure for Great Britain, so there are other countries here with specific tax procedure. We can check the details by selecting the tax procedure and then go to Control Data. So these are the steps for this specific tax procedure. So you can customize this, but SAP requires or recommends that we don't change the standard tax procedures. What you can do is copy and create your own tax procedure. So we can review here that there are at least 7 steps, and these are the tax condition types for this tax procedure. And you can note that the succeeding steps is shown where it came from. So like step 110 came from 100, and then step 120 also came from step 100 up to step 150. It also came from step 100, while step 160, which is acquisition tax debit, came from step 150, acquisition tax credit. If we scroll to the right, we can see here the codes count key for the tax procedure. We have MWS, VST, NAV, NAV, NVV, ESA. So these will be the ones that will be shown in your transaction as account key. And in here, we have radio bot, we have selection buttons. If you want to check these box for manual entries, and here, if you want it to be required, and in this column, you can check the boxes for statistics. So it is recommended that we don't change any of the configuration. Okay, go now to define condition types. So let's go back. and then back. And we have here define condition types. Double click to select and go to condition types. So we will go now to the position of input tax. The standard condition type for input tax is uh, MW, MWVS. Hit enter. So this is the standard condition type for input tax. We can go also for the standard condition of output tax. That is MWAS. Hit enter. Uh, We can see here there are a lot of customized condition types. We can check the detail of a specific condition type. Let's double click or highlight and click here for the details. So we have here for MWAS output tax, we have the class condition, which is tax. If we click search, we can see the selections for the condition class. So we have discount for or surcharges, prices, expense reimbursement, extra pay, fees or differential, tax classification, determining sales deal, compare price protection, total record or fees, and wage withholding tax. Can also indicate the calculation type. So the selection is a percentage. There are other types of calculations. We have fixed amount, quantity, gross weight, net weight, volume formula. So you can change here if you want a customized condition type. Here we can assign condition category. So this is for tax. D is for tax. So we have other conditions here like tax jurisdiction level, customer reserve, delivery cost, insurance, freight, yes, and we have here the access sequence, tax calculations. We will be reviewing access sequence later on. So in here, you assign the access sequence for the condition type. So let's go back and then go back and double click the access sequence. This is a warning that this is a cross client, so all clients will be affected if there are changes for the access sequence. So it's recommended that we don't change access sequence and create our own access sequence. We will just review the access sequence that we saw. So let's go to MWST, MWST access sequence, hit enter. So this is the access sequence that was classified for the input text and output text. Okay, so we double click the access folder to see the access. So here there are two access sequences, and the table number is 003 and AV. That is for class tax classification and counter tax code. So if we want to see the details of the access, we highlight the specific access number and double click the fields. So we can see here the conditions that will be applied to your transaction. So here, the standard is ALAND and MWSKZS. Go back So if we want to check the second access number, highlight it, double click the fields, and we have a similar fields and conditions. Go back, go back, go back, and then close this window. Our next topic to review is assign tax country to calculation procedure. So we have this. This is we can also access this to T code OBBG. Let's open a new window. OBBG. So we can access that through this T code OBBG. Let's close this window. Let's double click here and check our country. We're using Great Britain, so click the position and then GB. And the tax procedure is tax GB. So that's what we have reviewed earlier, tax GB. So the GB country is properly assigned to tax procedure tax GB. So we don't have to change anything here. So if your country does not have a tax procedure, this is where you would assign the tax procedure for that specific country. Let's go back and then review, check, and change settings for tax processing. So we can also access this through T code OBCN. Let's check that. So slash O to open a new window, space OBCN. So here we can check the position of MWS that we have reviewed for output tax, and we can check for the details here. So processed MWS has a tax type 1, so we can check the other types here. So we have output, input tax, additional but tax, not relevant to tax. Yes, and then it has also a posting indication that it is a separate item. So we can check the types of posting indication. So we have one for no posting required and three for distribute to relevant expense revenue items. So we will not change this. Let's go back and back. Okay, close this. So I think that's it. Um, it's the same here. So I think that's it.